find some kind of way, like, I don't know, like, but we gotta start a fundraiser or like something, bro. I gotta get me some money. I gotta get out of here, bro.
That's because we was like, this gonna be my money. I don't care, bro. Whatever you was finna get, bro, you just not gonna be able to get, bro. Like,
Dakota?
yeah.
Man, they wanna fire him, but don't tell me he said like they gonna be more money.
Nah, he was just saying like you not gonna get a chance. He's like, what does BK got to do? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what to tell him.
We gotta start a fundraiser or something. We gotta get me some more money so I can get a better lawyer, bro. Because they got me in the car with the people on camera, but they do not have the shooting on camera. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got me in the car with the people on camera. They showed it to me on camera. But they do not have the actual shooting on camera, and the person is not dead. He's just like just brain dead. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She's saying he's gonna have to have a metal plate put in his head and shit. That's what she was telling me. And they wanted me to tell. But bro, you know what'll happen if I do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to hear you say that.
But so, like,
I don't know, Rick. I don't know. I've thought about everything. And I tried everything. And I just need some help. I don't know. Oh, my God. I thought about killing
and then that
myself.
shit just, I don't have nothing. Like, I don't have no type of nothing this time. Like,
What do you mean?
I don't have no type of money. I don't have nothing, bro. Like,
Okay. You got another phone right now?
you know I don't. I wish you just would have came up my house. Came home. I told you, like, boy, it's not like that. I told you why everything went the way it went the other night, because you being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, and I told you that.
I apologize, but my mom, I'm sorry.
All right, Serena and Katherine are here with me to help break down this phone call. Serena, it sounds like Walter Murphy, who is the alleged founder of YSL, it sounds like he's talking to his girlfriend and he's talking about this incident. They have some footage of him, but not the actual shooting. But it does sound like he's mentioning YSL was involved in a fundraiser. Is that enough?
I will say what's most alarming to me as a defense attorney is that he's saying these things on a recorded call. I tell my clients all the time, the number one thing is don't talk to the police, but the number two right behind it is do not say anything about the crime on a call that you're making from jail. They are recorded and they are listened to by the prosecution, and they will be used against you. And you have no right to, deny that.
Exactly. It's interesting how oftentimes, even if they're advised, it still happens anyway.
Happens all the time.
Exactly. Katherine, one of the things that I'm thinking about as far as Walter Murphy is concerned, he's been on that stand for a long time previously. And he denied so much when he was on that stand, on direct and actually on cross-examination. How do you think overall the jury is looking at this video and this tape recall and also his testimony on the stand? How do they put that all together, frankly, when there's so much conflicting information?
I agree with you. I think the jury might be confused with Walter Murphy. And one of the main reasons is because he already pled guilty to the RICO count and actually cooperated with the state. And the reason he pled guilty and served only a short amount of time, if I recall correctly, about like 1 year only, and then he was let out. That in exchange for him testifying against Jeffery Williams and the other defendants in this case. But like you said, his testimony is very lengthy testimony. Even during direct, did not really help the state as much. It's almost like he had an amnesia all of a sudden. So whether or not he's going back to jail or breaking that plea agreement, that's a whole separate issue between him and the state. But here, providing that jailhouse recording is important because the jury is hearing that there is a shooting that Walter Murphy was involved in, likely was the perpetrator. And this is a RICO case. They're trying to prove that shootings and murders are happening because of YSL, and he's a co-founder. So that's a building block, as Serena mentioned, in proving the RICO case.
Exactly. And, you know, Katherine, as we just heard, we know, or rather, Serena, as we just heard from Katherine, we know that this is a RICO case, right? We know that they have to prove there were acts that furthered the conspiracy. And based on everything we've heard so far, I mean, we've had a number of people on the stand who all of a sudden don't remember anything. Yes. Is there anything here for the prosecution to lay their hat on to say, look, here are the criminal activities that led to this conspiracy, and we're tying it back to YSL?
Absolutely. It's very easy to take the stand and just say, this happened so long ago, I just simply don't remember. But when things are recorded in a conversation, like in a jailhouse conversation that the caller presumably thought was potentially private or secret, and it happened closer in time to the event, and it's recorded, it is an opportunity for the prosecution to use that against anybody in the racketeering group. So I would say it is a building block, and it is problematic.
It is a building block. And, you know, Katherine, this trial has been going on for months already. And we know it may go on to, 2025 or longer. How do you think Judge Glanville is handling his courtroom?
Well, we've heard a lot of screaming matches among the lawyers on both sides recently with the prosecutor. So this trial has been going on for about over 5 months now. The estimate was 6 months. And like you mentioned, it doesn't seem like it will end by next month. So this is dragging along, and the screaming matches are happening because it's delaying this already lengthy, complicated trial. And I feel so much for the jury because as a RICO case already complicated, I wonder what will they remember a few months later when they have to do their closing statement as to the evidence. I assume the jurors have notebooks to recall these extensive testimony, but putting this all together will be a Herculean effort for the state, for sure.
Absolutely. And they're going to have to do that. Serena, one of the things that I think is the prosecution probably should not have had so many defendants in this case, because they each have a right to speak and to make objections and to ask questions on cross. And so it's going to be long. Do you think that that was a mistake to have all of these individuals tried together?
Personally, I do. As a former prosecutor myself, I would have narrowed down the defendants to the ones who were really meaningful, to the worst of the worst, and try to plea out or flip the other defendants. It is very difficult for a jury to have to sit through months and months of testimony and then determine who's guilty of what at the end of the day.
Exactly. And obviously we started out with so many more. I believe there were 28. And Katherine, we know that some of them have taken pleas and some of them, obviously have been pled out of this case and will be tried separately. But other than that, now that we are down to these last 6 remaining, what else can the prosecution do to make their case a little bit faster, a little bit stronger? Do you think they should start eliminating some of the 400 witnesses they're talking about bringing?
That is a good start, definitely. And also streamlining the evidence. If there's any potential issue that might come up in an objection from the defense, then they just should be ahead of that so that the jury doesn't have to be halted and asked to leave the court, so that there's a lot of sidebars or a lot of arguments between the judge and the defense, especially the prosecution. Make it easy for the jury by helping the trial move along. Some of the other issues could have been prevented, like evidentiary issues as to the prosecution should have provided those statements or evidence to the defense, their right to have to begin with. So try to make that smoother, because it will help the jury as well. And they'll thank the attorneys at the end of the day for that.
Exactly. And we know Glanville doesn't like surprises. One of the things both sides could do to make this shorter is to go through the evidence, go through the witnesses, and make sure they are in agreement with as many issues as possible before raising it before Glanville, who doesn't want to hear anymore, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, based on what we've seen. All right, we have to hit another break, but stay with us as we switch gears to bring you a recap of the Trump hush money trial out of New York City. We'll be right back.